This right here is the Beelink ME Pro. It's a compact mini PC and it's designed from the ground up to be a home NAS system. And when I say compact, I mean this thing is 50% smaller than other NAS systems out there. Now, don't let the size fool you because you can stuff up to 72 terabytes of storage in this little machine. Now, that's enough to store tons of movies, songs, videos, or home videos even, all in a box smaller than a loaf of bread. Let's start with the design. Now, this is the last time I'm going to mention that this device is tiny, because when you place this next to an iPhone, the footprint is almost identical. The entire chassis is solid metal rather than cheap plastic, which should help you with heat dissipation and with long-term durability. At this price point, Beelink is delivering quite a genuinely high-quality product. I also really like the updated Beelink logo and the mesh design. It has a clean speaker style look that reminds me of the Marshall speakers. Now, sitting on a desk, it does feel and look premium, and it definitely does not look like a budget mini PC. On top of that, it's really quiet when it's on a desk. I have been using this as my media server for storing videos, documents, and running a couple of self-hosted applications like WireGuard and AdGuard. On top of that, it's power efficient as well. Now let's talk about the specs. Now I'll try not to bore you with the finer details. You can pause the video and read right here all the specs in detail, but I will talk about are the specs that do matter. The unit I'm testing is powered by the Intel N95 processor, and it comes with 12 gigabytes of LPDDR5 memory, which is soldered, not upgradable. Once you remove the bottom panel, you'll find M.2 SSD slots, 3 of them, one of which is running at PCIe 3.0 X2 and the other 2 running at X1 speeds. So the other 2 are slower versus the main one is fast. With that said, it does ship with 512 gigabytes of NVMe SSD out of the box, and you can expand the storage significantly because each slot supports up to 4 terabytes, which should give you a total of 12 terabytes of SSD storage. Now, on top of that, it includes 2 3.5-inch hard drive bays. These are the mechanical hard drives, each allowing you to install up to 30 terabytes each with a massive support of 60 terabytes of total hard drive storage. As for the rest of the specs, you get HDMI port, which supports 4K 60, along with USB-A ports and USB-C ports. Networking is also another strong point here. You get 2 ports, one running at 2.5 gigabits per second and the other one running at 5 gigabits per second. Finally, there's also a 3.5mm headphone jack for audio. Now, this device comes pre-installed with Windows 11 Home. So when you boot it up, you're going to be booting into the Windows operating system. For this purposes, I gave it a quick test and it runs surprisingly well, no issues whatsoever. Now, if you want a basic Windows mini PC that you could do some browsing on, some lightweight work, and your core usage is going to be storing tons of documents, videos, or files up to, 60 terabytes, then you could use this mini PC for, doing both. Okay, so now let's set up this device. Since this device comes with 512 gigabytes of NVMe SSD out of the box, I'm going to go ahead and use that and install my main OS on it. I'm going to also add one additional 1 terabyte of NVMe SSD, mainly using it for editing my videos right off of the NAS. Next, I also installed 2 4 terabyte Western Digital mechanical hard drives for my NAS storage that I'm going to be using for storing a bunch of videos and documents for this channel. Now, to truly utilize this machine's potential, we need to talk about a NAS operating system, and by that I mean get rid of Windows 11. There are many options to choose from when running a home NAS system, but before we dive into which system we're going to install, let me just quickly explain what is a NAS and why should you care. Well, NAS stands for Network Attached Storage. If you ever wanted to own your personal cloud for stashing your movies, photos, documents, or random files, then you need a NAS. It's basically a smart hard drive that lives on your home network, ready to serve up your files anytime you need them. And here's the cool part. With something like WireGuard VPN, you can tap into your files from anywhere in the world. In simple words, it's like having your own private Dropbox or Google Drive minus the subscription fees. On top of that, you get total absolute privacy since everything is under your control. All right, let's get back into installing the NAS. At first, I thought about running Proxmox since it lets you run virtual machines, But with only 12 gigabytes of, mobile grade RAM, it does not make sense to do that here. Instead, I'm going to install ZimaOS as the NAS operating system. For installing the ZimaOS, I'll link the full setup instructions in the description below, but high level, all you will need is like a USB flash drive and a tool called Beelink Etcher. Then you just head over to ZimaOS's website, download the image, and flash it onto the USB drive. Next thing you do, you just plug it in, boot it, and then follow the prompts for the install, and in just a few clicks and minutes, the ZimaOS is up and running. This is one of the simplest NAS installs I've ever done. No confusing menus, no guesswork, it just works. Now to quickly go over what is ZimaOS, ZimaOS is designed to be a full personal cloud and a NAS operating system that's simple, cleaner than other NAS softwares out there. I like that it supports RAID options, so you can set up RAID 0 or RAID 5, but in my case, since we just have 2 drives, we're going to set up RAID 1. With the RAID 1, this will allow us to mirror data onto both drives, so in case if one drive was to fail, you still have data on the other drive. Another good thing about ZimaOS is that I can download and install over 150 apps that are available to choose from. Apps like AdGuard, DocMost, Jellyfin, and WireGuard should be core essentials for a home lab or a self-hosted environment. Lastly, you can install Windows or Linux virtual machines on top of ZimaOS. But in this case, on this machine, due to the processor and RAM limitations, I don't recommend installing Windows, but you can definitely install Linux operating system. And in my case, I went ahead and downloaded and installed Fedora, and it works surprisingly well. So there you go. In a couple of minutes, you have a feature pack NAS ready to go. Now, again, this is just one example of a NAS operating system. There are many other options to choose from like TrueNAS Scale, Unraid, and many others to choose from. So I would be interested to know, what kind of NAS operating system do you run in your home lab environment? Have you ever tried ZimaOS, or do you stick to TrueNAS Scale? Let me know in the comments below. Now, as for pricing, the device I have, which comes with Intel N95 and 512 gigabytes of storage, is priced at $369. Top tier, the top spec device with Intel N150 and with 1 terabyte of hard drive is priced at $559. Now let's talk about noise and power consumption. Now this thing is designed to run 24/7, so power draw and noise actually matter than raw performance. In my case, I kept the ME Pro on my desk at all times, and the fan was not that noticeable, or it wasn't that noticeable to annoy me in the first place. Now for power consumption, this device draws around 23 to 29 watts of power. Now let's talk about the real world performance, because for a NAS like this, benchmarks really don't tell the full story. What matters is how the hardware actually performs day to day. Copying files from my PC to NAS is smooth and consistent with no random clips or stuttering. The system stays responsive even while the drives are working and data is being copied over, which is exactly what you want from a box like this. Overall, the apps load quickly, the dashboard feels snappy, and nothing is strained or overloaded. So who is this device actually for? If you're looking to build a home media server, then this should work perfectly fine for your need. If you want a reliable place to back up your photos, videos without paying monthly fees on cloud storage, then this device makes absolute sense. It's also a great option if you're new to self-hosting and want something simple and easy to set up and avoid all the confusion. And if you care about low power usage and want something that you can run 24/7 without thinking about it, then this is the sweet spot. Now let's talk about the limitations, because no device is perfect, am I right? First limitation is that the RAM is soldered, not upgradable. That 12 gigabyte is all you're ever gonna get, and that's just enough for running basic NAS tasks. Don't expect anything heavy. If you were hoping to run heavy virtual machines or lots of containers, then this might not be the ideal platform for that. Another limitation is that the PCIe bandwidth on the M.2 slots. Only one slot runs at decent PCIe 3.0 x2 speeds, which means the other ones are going to be running a lot slower, and if you have faster SSDs, you won't be able to take full advantage of the system. It's fine for general storage, but just don't expect blazing fast speeds. Also, while the dual 2.5 gig and 5 gig Ethernet is awesome, I just wish they just gave us one 10 gig connection. With all that said, none of these are deal breakers for the audience of this device. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that bell icon to stay updated for more videos.